Hey everybody, welcome to Harmon Garage. I'm Aaron, and another day, time to make another video. So, if you've been watching and hanging along, you know to stay tuned till the end of the video to find out who won the giveaway t-shirt from the last video. And we're gonna do it again. I'm just in a giving mood. I like what it's doing, helping the channel grow. Everything's going good. Leave a comment, leave a like, make sure you're subscribed. You're automatically entered to win a t-shirt. So let's keep that going. Go ahead and blow up my comments and likes in this video for me. Heck, share my channel if you would. I'd really appreciate it. But anyways, let's get to the video. So I know this video is gonna be out late. I'm trying to stay on a schedule where I put out videos every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. And it's been working out pretty good, but this video, which is supposed to be Thursday's 2 o'clock video, not gonna be out. And the reason I know this is because it's currently 2 p.m. on Thursday. So I'm just now starting the video. I got a little behind. Not trying to make excuses or make anybody feel sorry for me, but I pushed myself a little harder than I might have should have in this heat. And yesterday, when I should have been working on the video to put up today, I was kind of taking a self-health break. Dang, say that when you're tired. Self-health break to just kind of relax and cool down and get my bearings back, and then, you know, so I could hit it hard again today. Well, then I came in early this morning. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get going on this. I might be able to still get the video out this evening. And I walked into my shop and I needed to get something over by my fab table. And I walked over there to get it and couldn't get to my fab table because of all the junk that's accumulated all over my shop from other jobs and me pushing through everything and everything else. My shop was a mess. I usually run a pretty clean shop. I like my shop clean. And it had just gotten away from me and it was a mess and I couldn't take it anymore. I had, you know, mountains of parts for builds stacked in the middle of the floor and everything else. So I just stopped everything this morning, and not gonna say that the shop is spotless, but it's in a lot better shape than it's been in a long time. Heck, I can even see part of my workbench over there. Outside, we'll say whatever, but I got some of this cleaned up. I'm still trying to sell this motor and trans and transfer case, so I need to get rid of it. I need to get my scrap area cleaned up, but a lot better than it was. Kind of got stuff categorized. This truck here, shelf here, my burnout truck part shelves here. This is all just miscellaneous stuff that I've had forever. I got it somewhat organized. I got it sorted out. I'm a lot happier. I'm ready to get some work done. So, enough of the blabbing. Today, we're working on the Scout. And I mentioned before, talking about the Scout and the process of the Scout and everything else, that it's going to a body shop in Tennessee, and all the body work and paint and inside and out and all that's gonna get done there. Well, I'm almost to a point where I'm ready to send it off. I don't wanna wire it before it goes, because the wiring is gonna run through the fenders and all the doors and all that stuff, and the body shop's gonna have to take all that off when they do the body work on it. And it's just easier this way for me. So if I can get, I got to pull, today we're gonna be pulling the motor and trans back out after I test fit the radiator. It's part of this kit that I've told you about in the other videos, but I still just want to bolt it in there and make sure everything's gonna fit. If that fits good, we're going to pull it back out, pull the motor and trans out. I got some modifications I need to make up here on the frame for the front bumper to mount back to when it goes back on. I got some grinding I got to do to clean up. I got to clean up the frame, I got to clean up the steering box, I got to clean up the steering shaft, and all that. And then we need to get all this painted, clean the motor up just a little bit. We're not too worried about getting it too clean because once everything's in there, you can't really see it anyways, and it's gonna have the covers on it. And the owner says he's really not that worried about it. He just wants to be able to open the hood and see the LS, and the outside's all gonna look nice, and he's still gonna go off-roading with it and everything else. So we're gonna clean the motor up a little bit. We're gonna get the frame and everything finished up, painted. We'll set the motor and trans back in. We'll hang the transfer case, or we won't. I don't know, I might not. But anyways, then once the motor and trans is back in, I'll probably put the radiator in too, because when it goes to the body shop and they do the body work, then they can put the whole front end back together, because I would rather have them body work and paint everything and put everything back together, and then I can come in and do my finishing work, wiring, hoses, all that kind of stuff. I don't want too much stuff on when it goes to the body shop, because if you've ever been around a body shop, you know, with the filler dust and the paint overspray and all that, everything just gets nasty. So I'm gonna clean up, paint the frame, and put the motor back in. And I have to, he wants to send the bumpers off to get them powder coated. So I have to make up the new mounts for the bumpers so they bolt on instead of weld on, because that's what he wants. I don't think I'm gonna get to that in this video, but I'll probably make another video on redoing the bumpers. But yeah, so yeah, I've told you like 3 times already what we're gonna do, and I'm still sitting here blabbering, probably because I don't know, but whatever, you get the picture. Motor's coming out, frame's getting cleaned and painted, motor's going back in, radiator's going in, and bada bing, bada boom, it's getting ready to go to the body shop. So here we go. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this transfer case out of the way for the time being. Like I said, we'll probably, I just remembered, I am gonna hang the transfer case before it goes to the body shop, because we want to measure for the drive shaft so that we can get the drive shaft made while it's gone. So get that out of the way for now. I got to air this tire up so I can move it, and then we'll get into it. Okay, so we got that. The owner of the Scout here ordered that kit, the engine install kit, and like I mentioned before on the other videos, it kind of comes with, it pretty well comes with everything. So as far as mounting the motor and trans and hooking everything up. So this is the radiator and shroud that came with the kit. As you can see, I'm opening it right now. I haven't even had it open. I don't even know what it looks like. The motor looks like it's kind of far forward to me, but it may be designed that way. I know they kind of got it set up so you can run the factory AC compressor, which you really have to move the motors pretty far forward to do that. I know you do in the C10s also. So that may be on purpose, but still, that's part of the reason that I want to make sure this radiator is going to fit in there, because I don't know if it's meant to run the stock fan or if it's got electric fans. And if it's meant to run the stock fan, we're going to be cutting her real close. So I'm hoping to open this up and it's got 1 or 2 electric fans on it with a shroud, and then I'll be more comfortable about it fitting. But in the meantime, well, I let's just open it up and see what we got. Maybe we still, better not say nothing before I pull it out. Pretty big, pretty heavy duty radiator, it's nice. That's everything that's in the box. And there's no shroud here. So, unless they consider these mounts the shrouding, but I don't see that. So in other words, I guess, I don't know. I'm going to have to look into it and see what it says about what, because it's supposed to have a shroud of some sort. So I'll be back in just a second. Alright, so I guess I should worry more about making sure all my ducks are swimming in the same pond before I start filming a video. But turns out we don't have the shroud. The shroud is supposed to be for a mechanical fan. We don't have a mechanical fan because the truck that we pulled this motor and trans out of had electric fans. So we're gonna get, the owner of the Scout is gonna talk to the company that we got the kit from and work that out, and then we're gonna get an electric fan and put it on. So the radiator's gonna fit. I know it'll fit with the electric fan, so I'm not too worried about that. So we set it off to the side. I'm going to go ahead and get started on yanking this motor out. But meet the teacher night for my kids is in like 10 minutes. I'm already supposed to be home. My wife's gonna be pissed off at me, but hey, that's an everyday thing. So I'm gonna run home, do the whole meet the teacher thing that I need to do, and then I'm gonna try to come back and burn some midnight oil and get some stuff done. So see you in a minute. All right, I got everything set up, got my cherry picker out here, got the motor pulled up where I had more room, or the truck pulled up where I had more room to work with it. So now I'm just gonna run my cherry picker in there, hook it up, and then I gotta crawl underneath and undo the motor mounts. Alright, I'll get underneath, undo the motor mounts and turning mounts, and we should be able to just lift this thing up and snap it right out just as easy as we put it in. Alright, engine and trans are out, sitting right over there on the floor. I got everything else clear. I need to do some grinding and some cleaning and stuff on the frame and some welding, and I don't do much of that inside if I can help it, so I'm going to go ahead and push the Scout out here on the apron where I like to work, and we'll keep going after it. Alright, first thing I'm going to do, bring the grinder out. We're going to start cleaning up all this stuff right here where I cut the bumper off that was welded on. And I'm not going to do it in this video because this video is going to be more getting everything cleaned up and painted and getting the motor and stuff permanently back in. But then I'm going to make another video and we're going to refit the custom bumpers. The guy that made the bumpers built some awesome bumpers. I'm not complaining about that at all. He built some really nice bumpers, but he welded them on. And the owner of the Scout doesn't really want them welded on, and they don't really work out good being welded on because it makes it so you have to, you know, like that. It had that big hump in the front. I had to cut this front bumper off to get the motor out. Or, I shouldn't say that. To get the LS motor in. I pulled that motor out over the fender, but it wasn't ideal. So we're going to refit the bumpers so that they bolt on, front and rear. I'm going to do some other modifications on the rear bumper. All that's going to be in the next video. So if you like the Scout, you like to see the progress that's going on with the Scout, make sure you subscribe so you know when the next video on the Scout comes out. But for right now, I'm going to go get my grinder, my extension cord, some safety glasses, and we're going to start cleaning this up. Alright, obviously, like I said, I'm not going to do anything with the bumper today, but I am going to clean all this up and paint it, because the way I'm mounting the rest of the bumper, I'm not going to have to do any more welding on the frame or anything. Now, I'm not going to get a whole, you know, great deal into this, because it's part of installing the bumper, so I'll explain it more in another video. But I'm putting this piece of angle iron right here because oh great, I just have to hold it and pack it. Anyways, I'm going to put this piece of angle iron right here because then I can drill holes in it where I need them and mount the bumper with bolts here where it was welded. So I want to get this welded on because then I can get it cleaned up and I can paint it and I don't have to worry about it later. So I'm gonna go grab the welder, drag it out here, and probably measure and mark this a little better than I did already, which is not at all. I was just gonna kind of eyeball it, but I think I should probably measure centers on stuff. So I'll get this measured and marked. I'll get my welder drug out here. We'll get that welded in place, and we'll move on to the next thing. Alright, I got all my cleaning and grinding and welding done up here to get that on. once again, that's all we're gonna say about that. I'll explain in the next video why we did that like that and how it's gonna be. It's all welded all the way around, blah, 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 welded on. Okay, so next thing I gotta do, last time I worked on this thing, which has been a little while, I started cleaning up the frame a little bit, but it still needs a lot more. So I need to clean up the steering box, the steering shaft, the frame, all the way back at least to the transmission cross member and all that. So I'm gonna get a scraper and I'm gonna get a Scotch-Brite pad and probably some Prep-Sol to clean it. And I'm just gonna get in there and scrub away. And once we get it clean enough to shoot some paint on it, then we'll shoot some paint on it. So if you guys are curious what I'm gonna be doing for the next inevitable or unknown amount of time, that's it. I'll be sitting in that engine compartment making engine noises. Okay, I got everything scraped, I got everything Scotch-Brited, I got everything wiped down with Prep-Sol or wax and grease remover, whatever you want to call it. Got some of the same satin black roll bar and chassis paint that I use on everything that I already used in here. I'm going to go in there, I'm going to start at the back and work my way out, and we'll get it all sprayed down. All right, got it all done and painted, and you guys that paid close attention in the time lapse are probably going, Aaron, what the heck, you're such a hack, you only painted the top and the inside of the frame. You are correct, I did only paint the top and the inside of the frame, and there's a reason for that. This Scout is going to the body shop probably in the next week or two. And it's getting full body and paint. Everything. It's gonna look brand new or better when it comes back. Well, I don't know if you guys are real familiar with body shops and body shop areas and stuff like that, but there's a lot of dust and there's a lot of overspray. I've mentioned that before. I talk about it all the time anytime we're talking about body work. So the outside and the bottom of the frame will still be easy to get to with the engine and transmission in. I won't have a problem at all, especially with this lift. I mean, I can go over here through the wheel well and I can see the entire world over here. I'm not gonna spray paint that, I'm gonna brush paint that. I have satin black brush paint that matches the roll bar and chassis paint perfectly. It's a rust preventer also. And I'll paint the bottom and the sides with a brush, and just like we're gonna redo the front suspension and we're gonna redo the rear suspension, and we'll clean all that and paint it before we put it back on. I don't want to take the time to clean stuff up and paint it now because I'll end up having to do it again or touch it up or make it clean it up or whatever after it comes back from the body shop. So the reason I was worried about getting the inside and the top of the frame done is because once I set that big old motor and tranny back in here, there ain't no painting the motor mounts. There ain't no painting the tranny cross member mounts. There ain't no painting the top and the inside of the frame. You can't get to it. So steering box, motor sits against it. I'm not gonna be able to get to it. So I cleaned all that up and painted it so I can permanently put the motor in for the last time, because there's certain things that we wanna do before we send it off that'll make it better for me when it comes back. Like I want to get it in, get the transfer case in, get the measurements made for the drive shaft so we can get the drive shaft made while it's gone. Just certain stuff, and have the motor in so it's in and sitting in the vehicle and I don't have to find somewhere to store it and all that kind of stuff. So that's why we did it that way. I'm done blabbing, I'm ready to go home. So here it is. Got it all cleaned up, got it all painted. Everything I'm not gonna be able to get to with the motor and trans in is done. Steering box, motor mounts, transmission cross member mounts, all this up here. This isn't still wet. This isn't shiny like this and looking smooth and nice because it's wet. It's had time to dry. It's probably been 25-30 minutes since I painted it. I cleaned up, moved everything, pushed it back inside, all that stuff. Now I'm going home. It's Friday afternoon. I'm going home. I'm gonna spend some time with my family. I'm gonna actually work this weekend, which I normally don't do, but it's not stuff I'm gonna film. I got some other stuff I need to take care of. Monday when I come back, we're going to clean this up. I still have to paint the tranny cross member, but I'm waiting on him to bring me some more paint. We'll clean the motor up, get the motor and trans set back in. And we got some other stuff we need to do on the motor to put it on and, you know, make it permanently mounted in there. So we'll get to all that on Monday. So you guys take it easy. I'll be back in a second. Okay, we're back. It's Monday morning. This frame and steering box and all that had all weekend to sit, and overall looks pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna need to touch anything up. It's just when I go and paint the rest, there's some spots that I might have missed that are on the backside that I'll get from the outside anyways. So anyways, here it is. I don't know how well you guys can see it in here. The lighting's not the greatest, but I think it turned out really good. Looks nice in there, and pretty happy with it. So now I got the motor sitting over here. I told you I was going to clean it up a little bit. Up here in the valley, it's got all the just crap that it gathered over time, mud dauber nest and dirt and dust and all that from sitting. Oh, apparently that wasn't sitting on the ground and it's leaking coolant all over my floor. That's awesome. Anyways, I got to pull the exhaust manifold, the headers back off in order to get the motor mounts back off so I can paint them. I'm going to pull the valve covers off and clean them and paint them. And I think that's about it. So I'm going to try to make this to where it's not spraying coolant all over my floor. I was unaware that there was still that much coolant in there. So anyways, exhaust manifold's got to come off, or header's got to come off so I can take the motor mounts back off so I can paint them. Valve covers need to get painted. And then I got the tranny cross member on the floor over here that needs to get cleaned up and painted. So I'm going to clean them up and paint them really good. We'll let them sit and give them time to dry. And then we'll stab this motor back in here. And yeah, pretty much what we're doing. All right. I'm not gonna make you guys watch this frame by frame because I'm just taking this stuff apart. So, gotta pull the dipstick out to get the header back off. Take the header off to get the motor mount off. Then we'll pull these valve covers off and get everything cleaned up. Shoot a coat of paint on it, and we'll be able to slap everything back together. Stick it back in the old Scout here. Got all these parts cleaned up, prepped, ready to paint. And just so nobody's curious or wondering, I'm not overspraying the crap out of all the hard work I did on Shorty. He's bagged and tagged over there, and I just got to lay down some paint on these. Now, I'm going with Duplicolor Low Gloss Black Engine Paint. And there's a very specific reason I'm going with the Duplicolor Low Gloss Engine Paint. I had a can of it in my paint cabinet, and I didn't feel like running to the store to get some different paint. And it's going to look good. It's just flat black. It'll blend in nicely with everything in the engine compartment. So I'll get a good coat of paint on this stuff. It's really humid again today, so we're going to have to give it adequate drying time. And get it all sprayed out. We'll let it sit and dry, and then we'll be ready to start putting stuff back on. Because it's hot with the humidity, it's flashing really fast. So I can get a second coat on almost immediately. And 2 coats is all I'm putting on it. So we can get a second coat on almost immediately, and then I just gotta let this stuff sit here and dry. So that's what we're doing. Alright, I got everything painted. I let it dry for about 2 hours while I went and got some lunch and dealt with some other stuff. Or not dealt with some other stuff, but just was around the shop here doing some other stuff. And got it all back on. Got this all vacuumed out, cleaned up, good, decent, enough. Valve covers look good, motor mounts are back on, headers are back on, dipstick's back in. So, time to set up the other camera. And stick her back in her hole. So, should be it. Just got to put her back in. Motor mount bolts are all started. Tranny cross member bolts are all started. She set back in there. I'm going to let the jack down a little bit just to take the weight off of it. And then I'm going to get back underneath. Probably for about the next 35-40 minutes and tighten all them bolts up. So, for some reason it don't want to go where it's supposed to go, so hopefully I can tighten some bolts up and it'll do its thing. Alright. There's only one last thing I want to do to button up this engine install, and that is set this intake back on and bolt it down. Sorry, I had to go get one of these bolts that fell out of it. The main reason I'm doing this is because if it sits anywhere for a period of time without the hood on it, this is keeping stuff from getting down in the motor. That, and I mean, why not? So put it on there, get it buttoned down. I mean, the motor is installed permanently. The chain is off, the cherry picker's away. Like there's no reason for it to come back out at this point. So we can go ahead and start tying stuff like this up. Not going to put coils or spark plug wires or any of that stuff back on because it doesn't need it, and it's just one more thing to get in the way while it's going. So we're going to get the intake on. I'll tape up this throttle body, which the blades on it are closed, so it should be fine. But I just in case, one more precaution. So it's a humid one today. I had to wait to start filming this part. I knocked out putting tightening down all the bolts and the motor mounts and the tranny mount and everything fairly quick, but I had to wait before I could film again and put this intake on for you guys because it was pouring down rain so hard that I couldn't even hear myself talk, let alone try to fight it for filming purposes. So I'll go back and torque these here in a few minutes. Just throwing it on, tighten it down. I'll get a torque wrench out, I'll torque it, and then we'll go from there. And for anybody that's wondering why I'm putting this back on permanently with the old gaskets, I got a simple explanation. These gaskets are reusable, first of all. They're rubber reusable gaskets. And second off, the aftermarket ones you get are not as good as these factory ones. So they are reusable, and the used ones are probably better than a set of aftermarket. So that's why I'm putting it back together with the original. I'm not gonna have to wash anything else. I got sweat dripping off of me on this thing, so oh, you gotta be kidding me. Well, there went my socket. I heard it start to fall, but I didn't hear it hear it fall. There it is right there. Tiny dipstick tube caught it for me. I don't know why that keeps popping off of there like that. Apparently my extension is getting worn. Okay, so I'm gonna go dry off again, and I'll get a torque wrench and torque those down. And then we got one more thing. I know I said this was one more thing, but I got one more thing I want to do real quick, and then we'll finish it up. All right, last little thing I'm doing is putting the engine cover on. I didn't clean it up very good, but I wiped it off. We'll clean it up later. I just wanted to see what it looks like by the time we get the radiator in here. That's all you're gonna see. So yeah, this storm wasn't supposed to rain or storm or anything till Friday, but I've had like 3 cycles come through already this afternoon. Looks nasty. Tornado sirens been going off and everything else. We're just over here working because what else are we gonna do? So anyways, don't forget to leave a comment, hit the like button, be subscribed. Doing a t-shirt giveaway on this video. And the winner of the t-shirt from the last video is Jeffrey Coe. Jeffrey Coe. So if you're Jeffrey Coe, send me an email. The email's in the description below, or messenger on Instagram or Facebook. Harmon Garage pages, they're linked in the description below also. And let me know what size you need or what size you wear and your address so I can get a shirt sent out to you. So congratulations, Jeffrey. Everybody else, make sure you leave a comment, hit the like button so you're entered to win for this video. But with that being said, the motor is permanently in the Scout. Transmission is permanently in the Scout. It's looking decent. Frame's all painted up. It's looking good. And we're moving in the right direction. I got one more video I'm gonna put together on the Scout here. I'm not gonna tell you what it is because you're gonna have to wait to find out. And why don't you just go ahead and subscribe if you're not, because then YouTube will tell you, hey, best YouTube channel on YouTube just put up another video. I mean, you kind of need that information, so why not just do it? But anyways, I have one more video I need to put up, and then after we get that video, that work done that's going to be on that video, this thing should be sailing down the road, going to the body shop, and we won't see it for a little while. But have no fear, there won't be a lapse in videos. We have plenty of content coming up. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you next time.